Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser podcast, episode 162. We are rolling on with Sci Fi September. I am your host, as always, Richard. I come in peace, Yule.
You took the low-hanging fruit today. I'm Jeff Lown.
You could have said, I'm Jeff, you go in pieces, Lown, but
I don't usually get nicknames. I'm not allowed. I tried it once, and
That's true.
you
I
yelled
did
at
yell at
me.
you that one time. I yelled at you. So we are talking about. I get so mad at this movie, because the title, as I rented it from Stamey's Video in Weaverville, North Carolina, was "I Come in Peace."
Yeah,
but that's not what. And even when you play the movie, that's what it says.
that's what it says.
And that's not what the movie's called these days. You have to look it up by Dark Angel, which is stupid.
I always think of that. What's her name?
Oh,
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba.
Yeah. Is there a reason? I'll look it up while we're talking. But maybe off the top of your head, do you know why they changed the name?
Why? No, I don't, Jeff. So all I know is Dolph Lundgren is in this movie, and when I was a kid, I loved Dolph Lundgren. I think my love for him started in Rocky IV and continued in The Punisher, Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Ooh. He does awesome movies.
He does. He-Man. I mean, he was He-Man, and he wasn't a bad He-Man. Look, he wasn't the worst part about that movie. There's lots of other things that were, but I still think he does a pretty good He-Man. So Dolph is just, I mean, and as an adult, he's not as frequent except in the Expendable movies, but he's really great in those movies. So I dig them, except for part 4. It's complete. It's a complete turd.
That's what you said.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all.
So I'll read it when we get to the second half of the show. I'll go over that. But
Ooh, the suspense.
Ooh.
You have to wait. So yeah, Sci Fi September is something we're doing. Last week we covered Species.
We did cover Species.
And another one of my favorites. And me and Jeff have talked about I Come in Peace a few times, specifically on the other podcast that he had. What was that called?
Fistful of Action.
Fistful of Action. I was going to say Full Metal Action, but I knew that wasn't right.
That's not awful. Trademark, copyright.
Patent pending. So Fistful of Action was a fun podcast that you and Taco did, and then me and you did, and then we just gave up on life. So yeah, we'll cover and talk about I Come in Peace a little later on the show, because there's somebody else in the cast I want to talk about.
Okay.
So I do have some show and tell. It's something not so I understand, like, we call it show and tell, but a lot of times I don't right away or ever upload the YouTube. So this is what we call hear and tell. So yeah, it's a part of the show where we have something cool and we show it and we talk about it and we go from there. You go first, Jeff.
So when we were getting ready to record, I said, "Do we have show and tell?" Neither of us had anything, so we.
Look, I got all kinds of shit I can talk about around here.
So could I, and I may or may not have shown these at one point, but I don't think I did. So I picked these.
Oh, movie novellas of Fright Night and Reanimator.
Yeah, the novelizations. I got them from Vinegar Syndrome. They were putting them out once they did that Vinegar Syndrome press or whatever, and they started selling a lot of different books. I actually got these at the archive, so Vinegar Syndrome, the archive, same thing. I think I had some credit there when I traded stuff in, so I grabbed both of those. Pretty cool. Pretty standard.
You read them?
No, absolutely not.
I mean, why?
Why would I read them? I saw the movies.
It is weird though that like much like movie adaptions and video games have gone away, like they don't do,
Oh,
novelizations of movies anymore.
yeah.
And I love there was nothing more for video games than a shitty movie adaptation that I loved.
Very timely that you said that because it dropped today when we're recording this. They dropped the
What?
trailer for a Minecraft movie.
Oh, I just saw that looking up IMDb, and is Jason Momoa in it?
And Jack Black, I think.
Who cares?
Didn't they do Mario? Like, isn't that the same? Didn't they just do Mario? Jack Black
Jason
did, right?
Momoa? Was Momoa in there?
I don't think so. I didn't see it. I
Oh,
still haven't
Jason
watched
Momoa as Mario would have been much better than Chris Pratt.
It's me, Chris Pratt.
I'll
Parks and
never
Rec.
forget the build up to that, and they're like, "You're not going to believe Chris Pratt's voice for Mario," and it's just Chris Pratt. I think one time he goes, "It's a me."
I think the only thing I've seen from that movie is I went to Walmart looking for some figures, and it was playing in the electronics section,
Oh yeah.
and I caught like 2 seconds, and he was like, "Hurry up, well, everybody, let's go! It's me, Chris Pratt." I mean,
It's actually not a bad movie. You should watch it. He's better as Mario than Garfield.
well,
But actually, I mean, like Charlie Day is. There's much. The thing is there's much more good things about Super Mario than Chris Pratt.
yeah. I mean, I
I
grew
mean
up.
the story is good, and like the first few minutes, like they pay homage to it, and it's a good movie.
I mean, I grew up with the animated Super Mario Brothers like TV show,
I mean, me
so
too.
I like that one. But I mean,
You
I'm
haven't
sure.
heard Peaches, Peaches, Peaches,
Oh,
Peaches,
I've heard that annoying song.
Peaches, Peach, you're so cool. Um, a while back, Big Bad had a Super 7 sale, which I wish I would have again. And I always wanted these. I didn't have the reaction figures, but the reaction figures are cool. So Super 7 does a line of original characters called The Worst. They've done it for years now. Um, they have the worst and the weirdest. And the weirdest is just that. Like it's a hamburger with legs and arms and a trash can and just weird. But the worst is just like villains, evil looking things. But they had their Super 7 Ultimates on sale. So I got a few. Uh, First one is Batula. Um,
Not bad.
so, yeah, I mean, the artwork is great. This is when they were doing the slip covers. They've since stopped, I think, for the most part. And then you take them off and you get a really cool looking figure. It's it's not based on anything. Um,
That's pretty
uh,
cool. I mean, that's like premium packaging.
oh yeah, I mean, well, Ultimate, it's the same thing as the Turtles Ultimate Sevens and stuff, or Ultimate, yeah, the Ultimates, the Super 7 Ultimates. So this is cool. I don't see. This is why I don't like being, So you're a mint on card collector, but I mean, it kind of sucks because the cape is covering up the entire body.
Yeah, that's true. What's
So
the
it's a little
staff?
lame. So we're just gonna take this out of package right now. They've got some cool
Is
cool
his staff
accessories
like
in
a
here.
spine?
Yeah, it's like a big bone with a skull on top.
Oh, it would have been
And
cool if
then
it was like a spinal column, but yeah, it's still pretty cool. It's on like a
so
giant
this
ass femur.
the little web here hides it, but it's another bat head with sunglasses on.
I thought that's what that was.
So I appreciate that. Um, and then there's a goblet and vampire type things, more hands and stuff. So I bought that, and honestly, I probably eventually will take it out of package, just cause.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're cool. I mean, they have two others I think that are coming out.
How many are in the line of the
I
worst?
mean, in the reaction one, there's a ton, but in the Ultimates, I think they've said they're doing wave up to 3, but they've only really done. I don't even know if 2 is released yet.
Mm.
I'd have to look. But this next one is Captain Dead Star. So we get a cool skull pirate flaming sword
I like
picture.
that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the box is freaking awesome. Um, so this one's a little cooler because he's not completely covered up as far as being mint in box. So he's just a pirate guy, doing pirate things.
What's the purpose of the chicken leg? You know he's a skeleton. He can't eat that.
um, he comes with a feather pen and a shit list. Apparently, that's what it says.
Yeah.
Uh, it is cool too. They come with a little bio on the back, like a GI Joe file card from back in the day.
Oh, nice.
The tagline is there are good guys, there are bad guys, then there are the worst. So that's cool. I mean, I wish there was like, I mean, I think it's a cool idea, and I think it's something that they could do like a comic of, and have a world, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, they make action figures, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Not bad.
But I got those on a Steam. I mean, I can't remember exact. I think a lot of those Ultimates were like $20,
Wow.
$25, maybe.
That's cheap.
I mean, because they're originally like 60. You know,
I was gonna
basically
say, yeah.
55, between 50 and 60. And so on that sale, I got those two, and then I didn't bring these, but I pulled the trigger on the Robin Hood and Prince John figures. Because I love Robin Hood. That should be my. I should get a tattoo.
I pulled it up. Their wave 2 has Black Falcon, Robot Reaper.
Yeah,
Um, you got the first wave. Then it looks like the pre-orders are up $54.99.
yeah,
It's Cortex Commander. It's like a brain on like a soldier and
yeah.
uniform.
It's kind of like it's like a globe around them.
Yeah, and then there's like it's called Killer Bat, and it's like he's wearing like catching gear for some reason, like from
Yeah,
baseball.
yeah. I mean that's the. I want that one bad, really.
That one's cool.
He looks cool. Yeah.
Huh.
So
What was the
it,
brand of toy? Who made the toys for um the uh the like office guys? We talked about it with Breaker, I think. It was like the office creatures.
oh yeah. I don't know who made that. It was a side company. There was 9 to 5 Warriors was the name of the line, I think.
Oh, all right.
But I mean, I don't think the whoever makes them is like,
Probably not around anymore.
well, I mean, I don't know about that, but I mean, I think it's just a smaller company that I don't know the name of right away.
Hmm. I have a pre-order out still. Well, not. Well, I don't know if it's a pre-order or not, but that one's through Entertainment Earth. I got that Casey Jones Funko. Still waiting on that.
Oh yeah.
And then that My Bloody Valentine, like Ultimate.
No, I could have done that one. It's laying on the floor back here.
You got the
Uh,
Ultimate?
I guess not the ultimate. It's the one in the plastic.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine for me. It's the cloth one or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I had that one from Entertainment Earth, but it showed up and it was just smashed. Like everything was just smashed. And they're like, "What's wrong with your order?" I was like, "It's smashed." They're like, "Huh, that's weird." I was like,
I know. I don't. I won't. I will just stay with Big Bad. Like if I need a toy website to do, you know.
"Oh yeah,
I mean, that's why I hate Amazon. Like I'm in a position right now where I need a lot of something, but I need them to arrive not thrashed. And Amazon has them at a really good deal, but I can't guarantee that they're not going to be just shit wrecked by the time they get here.
yeah,
And it makes me mad because Amazon doesn't give a shit.
no."
I mean, I bought those Mirage comics, the Ninja Turtles. I bought 3 of them, and
Right.
they're heavy. They're not like little, they're kind of
Yeah, I got the
oversized.
first one.
Yeah, they're just beefy, and I got them in there, and I mean they were in a box, 2 sizes too big, and I mean they're just sloshing around in there. And so you open it up, and there was literally a piece of brown paper, not clumped up or anything,
The
just
butcher
laying on
paper.
top. Yeah, just laying on top, and just one piece, just neatly over it, like it's dead. And I
Throw
don't
that
get it.
body up.
I mean, in one of the corners of the book it was bent because it like lifted up. I mean, it
Yeah.
was bent in the box. I could tell, and I mean, I didn't really care on that just because I'm probably going to do worse to those because I just throw those around, whatever.
Do you
I
fold
don't
the
have to get.
spine?
I mean, I don't really pay attention when it comes to like the graphic novel type things. Like they're just because those are for me, those are like reading things. Like
Yeah,
those aren't. I'm not collecting them
I
necessarily.
get you. That's not a bad idea.
Um, but I've never been like a book guy where it's like, oh, don't break the spine, blah blah blah.
There's
I mean,
a couple guys I follow on Instagram, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I'm tired of those people that with the spines." So he'll get like a brand new book, and he'll just go and like fold it in half. And he's like, "I hope that's driving those people crazy that worry about spine condition." I keep my like manga stuff pretty like clean and not too bent because I usually sell that stuff off. So
you have to like open it up halfway and just kind of
I
peek
leaned
and.
I leaned to the side so I could read. Yeah, I leaned that way, then a little bit that way.
Yeah, for books, I mean, honestly, I'm not really a great collector because my shit's just everywhere. I mean, it's laying on the floor. I mean, I'm trying to get better, and I'm trying to actually sell most of it. So at the end of this month, I'll have a recap of probably how if I did good. So we'll see. But there's a lot of stuff I don't need. And I don't know what else to do with it. So I'm setting up at a little toy show here in town, so that'll be fun, maybe,
Yeah,
or it'll
that's
suck
cool.
and I won't have sold nothing.
Either way,
I mean, I'd rather sell stuff, but I'm not looking for. I need to reprice stuff, and I'm not really looking forward to that.
yeah, that's the part I hate looking up pricing on stuff.
Well, I mean, for me, I mean, my stuff is probably going to be cheap. Like, it's going to be meant to sell. Like, I'm not. I'm just not holding on to this shit anymore. Um, but I mean, actually pricing and like just coming up with a number, you know. I mean, a lot. What I really want to do is just come up with a color system and then just put a color dot on it and be like, everything that's green is $2, everything that's blue is $5, everything that's,
No, that
you know,
makes sense.
yeah. But it's hard to do when I have like comics and I mean, it's not so bad with figures, you know.
Yeah, those range, but yeah, you could probably get in the ballpark of what
I
you
mean,
need.
it's easier to do with movies, probably, right? Like I could probably do $2 to $20, like a 2, 5, 10, 20, something like that.
Yeah,
Because some of my stuff is like box sets and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not just going to give away some of the things I have.
yeah,
But anyway, we'll see how that goes.
yeah.
Since I can't ever set up at FrankenCon where I'd like to. Which that tickets are on sale right now, people. So if you want to go to a horror convention put on by me and Corey from Spooky Dudes, and Jeff might actually be there this time.
Seems like
Um,
it.
I mean, maybe if your stupid shoulder wasn't happening, it'd be better. But
Yeah,
just do some stretches, Jesus.
I did that for a year.
This shoulder has been, have I ever told you about my the great water volleyball injury of 2000? Of 2000?
No, no, you didn't tell me about the great
That hit
volleyball.
this one back when I was athletic.
That's the
I like
problem with
went
being
up and
athletic.
like I like when I mean I was never really athletic, but I like went up to hit it, and it popped out a joint and popped back in,
Oh, geez.
and it's just never been right since.
Yeah.
So I have to pop it every like once a week to get it to kind of reset
Try to
itself
reset it. Yeah.
and like not hurt. So
Well, it was weird because I did it like years back, did it doing something stupid, and it was
water
fine.
volleyball,
No, no, not that stupid.
not
Uh,
something as cool as water volleyball.
no, I think I was messing around on like gymnastic rings or something stupid, and
Fuck, I've never even been in the same room as gymnastic
it was
rings.
just in the gym, and I messed it up. But yeah, it was okay after like a week of doing nothing. Then like 6 years, 7 years went by, and I woke up, and it just was like, hey, now you pay. Now you pay.
Now you pay, asshole. Yeah, I I have so much sick time at work, and our company got bought out like everybody else, and so we don't really know what's happening yet with everything. But I have like 600 hours, so it's like, I mean, they're not gonna pay me that, and they're not gonna transition that over. So my wife's like, "You better have a surgery quick." I was like, "I mean, I could probably have a show. We could be shoulder twinsies. Jeff, come move down here. Come just visit down here for like a month."
Yeah,
In September. And then, I mean, you can do all your shit from home. It don't matter. And we'll just get both of our shoulders done at the same time.
I'm doing that with Taco. He's got the same thing.
We can be triplets.
There we go.
It's like when I was in middle school and the entire seventh grade got chicken pox, and me and my friends
Seventh
just
grade. That's kind of late for those, isn't it?
I know, and they shut school down. It was so bad.
Just
It
an
was
outbreak.
yeah, it was seventh grade because I was in North Carolina, and I was only there for seventh and eighth grade, so it was either seventh or eighth grade. And when I got the chicken pox, and so me and my friends just stayed at each other's houses for a week. Gonna be miserable because I mean I don't remember chicken pox being that bad, but
I remember him being kind of itchy. I think I was in like third or fourth grade when that happened.
I hear as an adult they're terrible. And
Yeah,
now I knew somebody that had shingles, and that's a nightmare. So
yeah, that's what I've heard.
4 more years, I get the shot though. All right, let's move on to.
Speaking of old people, though,
Oh, he's gonna love that because I make fun of him all the time.
speaking of prehistoric old people,
If you want to support the senior citizens here in Maryville, Tennessee, you can go down and visit our friend Jason down at the dungeon. It's a physical media store which really doesn't exist much anymore. They're few and far between, that's for sure.
yeah,
It's the only one in town here, and even in Knoxville. Like, I mean, I know there's one in Nashville called Danger Zone Video, and then of course Orbit DVD is in Nashville. So 2 to 3, there might be others in that 2 to 3, but not that I know of. So,
we're kind of spoiled with that. I mean, I have the archive, you have Orbit, and you got Jason.
Well, we had Grindhouse, but
none of them stack up to old Jason down at the dungeon.
Old Jason down at the dungeon. Well, he's the only one that we can't kill, right? We can't get him to go away. So you can always go to Maryville, Tennessee, hit East Broadway, hit the roundabout, and look for Southland Books. Around the back, there is the dungeon, and Jason is there selling all your physical media needs, whether it's vinyl records, laser discs, Blu-rays, DVDs, that horror VHS, sweet horror VHS that we all love, and video games, all sorts of stuff. He also just got in TerrorVision stuff. I don't know if he posted these. I think he did. But he just posted. He got the Killing Spree.
Yeah,
which is a great movie. I have the Vinegar Syndrome one though. I don't know who released it, but I think it was Vinegar Syndrome.
Well, it was TerraVision
Um,
as a partner label, but yeah.
well, the original, I don't know. I don't know if this is a re-release by TerraVision or if the original was also TerraVision. I just know now it's TerraVision and it's got a different slipcase. The slipcase is more akin to like a Walmart slipcase. Um, so he's got lots of cool stuff. If you don't live in Maryville, Tennessee, don't worry. You can still buy stuff online. You can go to his Instagram or Facebook, search at Southland underscore dungeon. And if you see something you like, just hit him up and he will send it your way. Tell him Night of the Nerdy later late. Tell him Night of the Nerdy Laser podcast sent you, and you might even get a prize. He might give you a good deal and a little button. He's got these little pin buttons that he sold a bunch of.
Oh, cool.
They're not enamel pins like you like, Jeff.
Hey, they're way over there, but I did get the like buttons that you could make yourself with like the little button press machine and all that stuff where you could make anything with one. I got the UHF ones from Fright Rags, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I remember seeing them. Did they have a Spatula City one?
Pretty sure they had a spatula one on there. It was like 6-pack, I think.
I love UHF.
It's so fun.
It is. All right.
You get the fire.
Let's move on to I'm not going to call it Dark Angel.
You don't have to.
Good. Let's move on to I Come in Peace. If you have ever wanted the Terminator to be mixed with a buddy cop movie, mixed with that Revolution X video game from Aerosmith.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And then maybe blended up a little bit of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. You get I Come in Peace.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. And it's Terminator.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Terminator as in the sense of, this isn't necessarily horror. It is a sci-fi crime movie. But it's not necessarily like, scary. The gist is there's an alien that comes from another planet, a bad one, and then a good one to chase him, much like Terminator.
Yeah.
And then it gets mixed up in this whole drug thing with Dolph Lundgren and as a local cop with the FBI's. It's
and the
kind
drug
of all
cartel called the White Boys or something like that.
The White Boys, I know. I was
which is just like a white collar crime, like
it's just guys in suits, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, "Kill you, pig!" It's like
they're at the very beginning, and then they show up out of nowhere at the end. Like you forget about them, honestly.
You really do. So here's the fact I read. It just says the project was initially titled Lethal Contact, as it was first written in '84 as a spec script by Jonathan Tidor. The production, filming, and international title is Dark Angel, and was released as such worldwide before it was changed to I Come in Peace for the late U.S. release, because two other existing movies entitled The Dark Angel from 1925 and 1935. You didn't want to
get those confused.
Yeah, you don't want to get this movie made 70 years later confused with that.
I'm pretty sure them being in color is proof enough.
Pretty good indicator which one you're watching.
Yeah, it's like, oh, these are the black and white ones, and this one's in color. I'll watch the color one.
Oh, there's words in this one? Okay, so
oh shit.
This is the 1925 one, huh? Okay.
That's pretty funny. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the cast. I mean, I mentioned Dolph Lundgren. But I'm looking through here because there's two people that are in this movie that it's like, oh wait, I fucking know them.
Mm-hmm.
But first one is Sam Anderson. And by name, you won't know him. And I'm looking. So he's been in a ton of stuff. still in a ton of stuff, but I'm trying to find something that I'm like, oh yeah, this is where I know him from.
If you see his
But
face, you know exactly who he is.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and he's only in like one scene, I think,
Uh,
two scenes maybe of this one. I mean, I'm talking. He was in like, I
La
mean,
Bamba.
he's been in a bunch of TV shows. He was in Lost. That's right. He was Bernard. He was what's her name's Rose's husband.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. He was
Yeah,
in Memoirs of an
I
Invisible
mean,
Man.
he was in Lost for 24 episodes, so an entire season basically.
Yeah, Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., Forrest Gump, The Stand. Yeah,
So
he
I
was.
just really like him. I've always liked him. I think he's a great actor, and he is. He's one of those people you see in everything: X Files, Friends, Chicago Hope. I mean, like
Airplane
just
2, the sequel.
Airplane Two. You know, I haven't seen. I don't. Is that the one where it's a space shuttle?
I can't remember exactly. I've only seen this like the whole thing, the whole all of them once, but I've watched the first one a bunch.
Yeah. So anyway, I really dig him. So I wanted to bring him up, but like I said, he's not in this movie a whole lot. I'm trying to find the other guy,
What do you
and
think
then we'll
about?
talk.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about him, and then I'll talk about just a character.
Well, I want to talk about his partner,
All
who
right.
becomes his partner. Um, I'm not going to be able to figure out who the other guy was. So go ahead. You can talk about.
Oh, okay. So like just getting into it, like the movie's pretty straightforward. I mean, it takes itself, it's a serious movie. It's not like all jokes or anything like that. But we get
It
like
does have some like punny stuff.
yeah, every
You,
action
you
movie
do get
does.
that kind of stuff.
But we get the forensics lab guy who's just a nut.
Oh yeah,
What's that all about? He just there's one scene where he's just sitting there. He's like ah, just screams out loud.
yeah. It's very random. The movie I think tries to be funnier than it actually is. Um, I think it was trying. I mean, it's trying to be a buddy cop movie. That was very popular. I mean, this movie came out in what, 90?
Yeah,
So I mean, we're high. On the heels of Tango and Cash, and another 48 Hours, and all those buddy cops. And I
Lethal
mean, I think
Weapon.
this was it. You know, as well. But his partner, the FBI agent, is Brian Benben. Do you know who this is?
I mean, his face looks familiar, but I've seen this movie probably 20
You
times.
probably won't know, but HBO had a show a long, long time ago that will probably never be released anywhere called Dream On. And it was their
Okay.
first like real show from 90 to 96. I really think it's the 80s, but it had 119 episodes. And he was the star of Dream On. So it was basically like um, he also did 83 episodes of Private Practice. So he's still around too. Um, but Dream On was, it was a sex comedy type of thing where they could show nudity. So it was really, the first of its kind. But if I remember right, like as a kid, his parents just sat him in front of a TV. And
Uh-huh.
so anytime something happened in his adult life, like something from a TV show would play. But it was just all this footage from random things. But for that reason, and I don't even know, I think that they had like, they could put this stuff on HBO, but it was never, permitted to go anywhere else.
Right. There's like a couple movies that are kind of stuck like that too. Like I think is it Cast a Deadly Spell and a
Well,
few
but that's
others.
on HBO streaming at least.
Now, yeah, but
Yeah, I don't think Dream On is even streaming. I don't think you can stream it. I mean, I literally don't know that it exists now. I mean, outside of some
I'm
bootleggers, but even then, um, even then, it was so long ago,
Yeah.
and who knows if you're just gonna find like videotape, episodes. The show Ed. Do you remember Ed, the bowling alley lawyer with Tom Cavanaugh?
It sounds familiar, but I never watched that one.
That's another one that, because of the soundtrack, apparently, because of the music in the show,
It's always
it's
the
like track.
soundtrack. It's so
Yeah,
weird that like music plays that big of a part in preventing stuff from coming out.
they could just do what wrestling does, which is the lamest thing ever.
Fill the
Like if
audio
you,
with people cheering.
well, no, so with wrestling, like Fabulous Freebirds, would come out to oh hell, I think Bad Street USA,
Mm-hmm.
and but anyway, they those guys would come out to real songs, and even ECW would too. So now on streaming, all like the Sandman's entrance, none of them have. It's just some generic like dun 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 dun, dun. but it doesn't match the audience, so it's like it's so weird. It's just the lamest thing ever.
Energy's just all wrong.
Yes, it's so lame because, like, especially with Sandman, for sure, is like it's beats to the whole crowd screaming, exit light and enter night.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, it's lame when you go back to the 80s. It's just this it's not even good music. Like they won't even like hire just a decent band and say make some good songs.
Just something somebody made on GarageBand or something.
Yeah,
On
it's
their
like,
MacBook.
yes, it's like somebody's nephew was kind of good at GarageBand. So anyway, Brian Benben, still around and still doing stuff, but I always know him from Dream On, and I don't think I ever connected the two really, but no, and obviously Dolph Lundgren, like we said, was in everything. The movie is kind of it's trying to be too many things, so it doesn't really work as a whole, like. I mean, it does. Look, I love this movie.
Don't forget it's a Christmas movie also.
It's a Christmas movie. So, okay, and this is something I've seen this movie a dozen times probably. Maybe more, maybe a couple dozen, because when I was little I rented this a lot because that's what we did. And at a certain point we got 2 VCRs and I figured out how to record them.
Oh, you little criminal.
Yeah. Well, when you live in the hills of North Carolina, what else are you going to do? So like movies like this and like Sneakers. Have you ever seen Sneakers?
I'm pretty sure I've seen it like on either Encore or HBO.
Sneakers is so underrated it's so good. It's a Robert Redford crime thriller, suspense comedy. It's great. I urge everybody. The cast in there is crazy, and it's River Phoenix's, I think, last movie, or at least that role was getting ready to it was it wasn't his Crow as far as he wasn't the star, but he is great in that movie.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of this movie, so I never noticed it before, but am I to think that this guy is driving his brand new expensive car and he has a CD playing and this alien lands and he gets the CD as a power?
I think just the him landing, kind of whatever electronics the spaceship does kind of messes up the electronics within that guy's car.
No, but then he shoots out CDs.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really think about that. I mean, I thought that was
I never have either, but now I'm like, why did they focus on that guy and that guy having a CD that spit out of the thing? Like, I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true. Because the guy, his partner picks it out of the speaker at one point, and it seems smaller than a CD. So that I could only think like he kind of had bait. I don't know. I don't want to think one way or the other. Really, I just assume it's a weapon because they also have like a space gun, as they refer to it. Him and the bounty hunter or whatever.
There are so many useless explosions in this movie too. It is hilarious. Like there's so many explosions that don't have any consequence whatsoever.
Yeah, that's true.
um, but look, I mean, look, this movie is soaked in nostalgia for me. And as a kid growing up, I loved it. And even as an adult, I can enjoy it. But I don't know if it's a great movie.
I mean, I watched it when I was younger. I watched it again more in my
I do
20s,
enjoy
even
it, but I
more in
don't.
my
What do
30s.
you think about somebody that watches it now for the first time?
I mean, I think they could have just as much fun with it. I mean, if they have an appreciation for like late 80s, 90s action movies.
The aliens in this movie are just guys, big dudes that are just dressed weird and act weird. Especially the good guy. The good guy's just always like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I read something that I think the bad guy alien did all his own stunts because they couldn't find a stunt person that was the same size as him. So he was just like, I guess I'll do it. I don't know.
he's not in it for very long, really, either. I mean,
Yeah, I
spoiler.
mean, he gets the old commando treatment at one point, but
No, well they do. Oh, is it Commando? Is Commando blow off some steam?
yeah,
Because that happens at the end of this movie.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The old commando treatment.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Blow off some steam. I
That
mean,
guy's
we
just
get.
wearing like chainmail armor in command. I love that movie too.
Oh,
He's
Commando.
got the
One of the
four
first.
the four missile rocket launcher. Like
Yeah. One of the
Arnold
first
flips the car.
Arnold movies I watched, I think.
So good. I mean, it
Yeah.
lost a little bit on its last viewing for me when me and Taco covered it on Fistful of Action. I think that was our first episode we did Commando.
I love him on the wheel of the airplane.
What
The
doesn't he?
landing.
He kills the guy or whatever, and he's like, he's taking a nap or something, or giving.
Oh yeah. um. So yeah, I mean, I dig the movie. I think the basic storyline though is that the aliens are from another planet, and they're here to get our endorphins because then they sell them on the street. So it's just a drug, really. Like it's just. I mean, I think he calls them alien drug dealers at one time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like they come take our drugs to inject the drugs into people to create people drugs for their species, which is amazing as a storyline. It's so dumb, but yeah, no, it's kind of unique. I mean, how many other stupid space alien movies come harvest people for drugs? So
I don't know, but they did remind me of of Critters as well, like the alien bodyguard or
yeah,
bad
those bounty hunters.
bounty hunter guys. Yeah, and it kind of reminded me of Suburban Commando with Undertaker and the other guy.
Yeah,
It's like all aliens in the '90s just were big dudes that had like black makeup around their eyes.
yeah, pretty much. Make them look tired.
And the bad guy alien had white contact lenses, so
He
he
did.
was cool.
He had the old cloud eyes.
Now I will say when I love the you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. He says that line. Dolph Lundgren is like he's the off the he doesn't follow rules and doesn't
He's
abide by.
The Brian Bosworth of the Force. When Brian the undercover.
And I really wish we could cover like Stone Cold and Blind Fury.
It'd be so good. That's
I
that's
just
for our
watched Blind
Patreon
Fury.
show.
I just watched Blind Fury a couple weeks ago, and it's so good.
Yeah,
It's so good.
it is.
So yeah, so Dolph Lundgren is like this. He's this wild police officer, and then the Brian Benben is the Ben. What when you change your last name?
And but
What if his name was Benjamin Benben? Ben.
Ben 3.
Triple B. Is this on? Um, yeah. So I like when he says he tells the guy, he's like, "What are you gonna do? Stay around until somebody says, um, can't can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs." And then he turns this space gun into this guy, into his boss, because he's
Yeah.
he wants to do the right thing. And the guy, it's a great shot where the guy, Brian, sits down and the guy goes to shoot him, and then Dolph shoots that guy.
How
But it's
many
a great
headshots are in this movie?
there are a lot.
They're
There
like,
are a
well,
lot.
where can we shoot him? I don't know. The head. Do you have any makeup for like a midsection shot? No, just the head. Shoot him in the head, please.
um Overall, I think is this a movie you would recommend?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would too, especially if you like action, sci-fi action. I mean, it's definitely in that realm. I mean, if you like 90s stuff, it's hard to argue against it. I mean, it doesn't really drag. I mean, it does tell a somewhat compelling story. Like, it does follow beats. And I like where there's at one point he just randomly tells somebody, he thinks it's all done and over with, and he randomly tells this girl that I don't know who she is, an ex-girlfriend, that he's going to take her on vacation. So she just goes and quits her job, and then
Is she
shows
the
up towards the end.
forensic lady? The lady
Yeah,
from forensics? And she,
yeah.
at one point, she sees him. She's like, I heard you might have been dead, and I was kind of hoping you were this time. And I was like, geez, what did he do to her?
All right, so we would recommend this movie. So you can hit it up on Tubi at the time of this recording. I think it's been on there for a while. I think it's a movie that they probably want to keep on there.
Yeah,
Tubi is just the best.
it
We're not
really
sponsored
is.
by Tubi, but Tubi really is my favorite streaming service.
Yeah, and I think because they have like a Shout TV channel on there, they have a Full Moon
Full
channel.
Moon.
They got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
It's
but their
like all
Full
the
Moon
video stars.
stuff is edited. So the Full Moon, a lot of their stuff is heavily edited, is all I'll say.
Yeah, well, I think that's
So
one thing Charles Band probably enforced, so he could do his streaming stuff.
So Full Moon is weird because they actually just blur out the boobs.
They don't have the rights to show boobs.
Well, I mean, I think that, like you said, Charles wants you to buy the movie or his streaming service.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, all right. Well, Jeff, we're near the end of the episode. So, what can people do if they don't have any money or don't really want to do much to support us? What could they do?
If you want to be absolutely lazy and cost free, you could go on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us. You could subscribe and give us a rating and review. It takes about 20 seconds max. You could go over to our YouTube page, Night of the Nerdy Laser on YouTube, and you could subscribe to that, get alerts to when we are making something new, and it helps us out for sure. But that's two easy things you could do to help us out if you like what we do, and it helps us a ton.
Yeah, and you can also email us with any questions, hate mail, whatever you want, comments about the episode that we've done, or even suggestions about a movie that we should watch, and maybe we'll just do it. You can do that at, surprisingly, Night of the Nerdy Laser at gmail.com. So we're pretty easy to find on most platforms using the same name. So we may have some, we will have some more news about an upcoming thing, possibly at FrankenCon. I don't want to say anything yet, but we'll be promoting FrankenCon a little bit more because we will have a little bit more stake in it. So that's all I'll say, but we're going to try to bring a guest to Frank and Con. So that's going to be fun. Just don't want to say anything yet because the contract's not done. So there's a little bit of a tease for the future podcasts. Next week is what? Alien Resurrection?
Yeah, we're finishing Sci Fi September with the turd. So
I've never seen it.
really,
But I do have a story about it.
oh, good, a story.
Yeah, story time.
No, it's.
All right.
I mean, it's
I've
what
heard
it is.
it's the worst of all of them.
Well, we'll see. You saw Romulus, so
Whoa. That was unnecessary.
no, Romulus is
Although
fine.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but somebody said that Romulus was just like Force Awakens, and that is like the most accurate description of Romulus. Like it really is that like fan, like it's just there's nothing really new about it. There's nothing that continues the story. It's just kind of here's the same but different.
Remember this? Well, here it is again. Well,
I mean, Force Awakens is actually probably a little bit more creative, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I still like Romulus just because of I like the aliens in it, but it really doesn't do much for the franchise or for moving the story forward at all.
that's true.
We'll see how this Hulu movie goes.
Oh yeah, that TV series or
The
whatever.
TV show, yeah, Alien Earth is what it's called. So
If it doesn't tie Alien versus Predator in, I'm gonna be mad.
So it's 30 years before the first Alien.
Okay. Well, they're living in an Arctic tundra temple, so fine.
Are they?
Aren't they?
I don't know. All right. Until next time, what should they do?
They need to keep it bloody.
Because somebody has to. And you go in pieces. Although that is, what do they call it? The Mandela effect or whatever, where like I would swear it was just and you go in pieces, but it's you go in pieces, asshole.
Yeah.
So who would have thought?